Hey, so today I want to talk to you about a cool new feature that we recently released called routines. Routines are shortcuts to long prompts and they allow you to easily invoke a complex procedure or task from within the chat. So I have a routines item here in the menu that allows me to create new routines. What I'm going to do now is define a shortcut for the process of submitting an SMPE job to check for SYSMODs in error in a certain CSI target zone, right? So I'm gonna create a new routine. I'm gonna give it a shortcut name, SMPE check SysMods, right? And I'm gonna give it a more readable name, check for SysMods in error. Will submit a job to check for SysMods in error in a given CSI target. So, right now I'm gonna include here the long prompt that I prepared in advance, and as you say, it says submit an SMP job to check for SysMods in error in a target zone with this CSI. It provides some instructions on how to craft the JCL and what SMP command I am interested in running and how I want to see back the report, including the FMID and the whole reason for each sysmod. I'm also providing my job card for the JCL, so the Genie knows exactly how to submit the job. Now, the cool thing about routines is that they can be generalized using parameters. So I can take this target zone name and turn it into a parameter for this shortcut. And I'm going to call the parameter target zone. And I can use the same parameter value in multiple locations within the long prompt. Right? So I'm also going to change the target zone name in the command. I also want to change the CSI name to be a parameter. So I'm going to call that CSI dataset. All right, and as you can see, it automatically detected the parameters and I can put some settings around them. For example, I can make this parameter multiple choice and provide some predefined target zone names. Right? All right. I'm going to save that. And that's it. My shortcut is ready. I'm going to go back to the chat. And to invoke a shortcut, I just type in the slash, and it will already suggest some shortcuts that it finds for me. I'm selecting the one I want to use. It's allowing me to specify my parameters, so I can choose from the list my target zone name, and I can provide the CSI dataset name, which in my case is SMP031.CSI. Right? And I'm going to fire that. And you see that it recognizes its routine, it fills up the parameters and created the long prompt for me. Now the Genie is going to start running and perform the request. So it figured out I want to submit a job, so it's calling the batch SMG, which knows how to run jobs, wait for them to complete, and collect their output. Right? And we can see that it provided entered the JCL in the request, and the Genie submitted the job, and we'll wait for the output. Once the job completes, it's gonna read its output from the spool, and hopefully create a report for me. All right, and here we go. The job has completed. It's already giving me the detailed result from the job, and I can look at all the SysMods, including the FMID, the APER numbers, the hold reasons, and symptoms. And this detailed response returns back to the main Genie, which provides the list exactly as I asked for it, with a summary for me to understand what I have to do next. And that's it. That was an example of how we use routines to simplify longer prompts and day-to-day operations.